Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eternal Brews. My name is Myriad. A little bit of news first. We have a new collab Arkham run with Justin from Playing Board Games up on our alternate YouTube channel. That'll be in the description below. So if you want to check that out, it's a super fun time. We're playing a Dunwich grab bag run and randomizing enemies and assets. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty blast of a time. I really like Arkham, and I recommend the game. And I've been trying to push it in the alternate channel a bit. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. But for the stuff that's Eternal related, let's talk about this brew, Agree to Disagree. I've been working on this one for a while. It is definitely a jank brew. It is a lot of fun, and there's some like real interesting stuff that we are doing with it. But it is definitely like in that sort of jank territory, which of course we love to do, so not a huge deal, and have been having an awful lot of fun with this on ladder. So let's go ahead and talk about it. The idea behind this deck is that we are playing a decent amount of power fixing via temporary power to play out, in particular, Furious Bandit, but also to set up a Gastrolith Binding Agreement combo. So let's go ahead and go through it. First things first, we have a bunch of different like ramp effects: Praxis Adept, Champion of Impulse, Engraver, and of course Heated Compromise, which is sort of the central part of the deck. Compromise and Binding Agreement were sort of the titular cards, and also the cards that I think most matter for this deck's general function. So the way that we use Heated Compromise is we get a Furious Bandit out early. This also works off of our Engraver and off of our Champion of Impulse, although the card won't have charge if Champion of Impulse does it. So basically we use them to play a Furious Bandit a little bit earlier than we normally would, thus allowing us to play a Charge Overwhelm unit at 4 or 5, and then draw 2 cards on top of it to sort of just refill on our general aggro. In addition, since we're punching with cards like Champion of Impulse and Engraver, we generally are able to deal a lot of damage to our opponent very quickly and just get a lot of benefits from that particular setup. Even if we can't play Furious Bandit early, this is still a 6/5 charge unit, which combined with some good ramp through max power means that we are often like punching way above our weight class early in the game and leading into some like very beneficial situations. When we don't have Furious Bandit, we can also play Robot Insect Master, Hive Queen Uther to stabilize against more aggro decks, and Alluring Predator, which just happens to be like one of the stronger Praxis cards to be playing early in the game right now. It's a 5/5 charge, it gets a bonus hunt, and then it also stabilizes your board by either playing bees or gaining health, or occasionally drawing cards if that is a thing that you end up needing to do. But when you draw the card, you also get a swift advantage, which you can then use to play other cards and help stabilize your board that way. So this card has just always been sort of like generally good, particularly when you're playing it ahead of curve. All right, so all of that is sort of like the basic aggression part of it. We're doing a lot of like simple ramping. Champion of Impulse gets the +1 power this turn. Engraver gets the +1 power this turn. All of that leads into like pretty quick 5s and 6s. And then on top of that, Heated Compromise allows us to jump a full 2 power up to get to our 6s. But if we don't end up taking the board off of that immediate ramp, the general way that we're going to stabilize and sort of take over the board anyways is through this combo of Gastrolith and Binding Agreement. Now, Gastrolith reads that you can play any number of power cards per turn, and you also gain a health for every power that you play. This is really good for playing out basically the entire quantity of your hand, if your hand is not particularly good. It is also a great way to just like get a lot of power out very fast. However, once, of course, we have played Gastrolith, we then need to refill our hand with power. That is, I think, the general problem with Gastrolith, is that, of course, you aren't going to have that many power cards left once you've played your 6-drop, even if you played it off of, say, a Heated Compromise on 4. But if we do something like, say, play a Binding Agreement, we then get to draw a bunch of new cards, potentially a lot of power cards, and get into a much bigger situation. And you'll notice something about this deck: it has no more than 8 of, I think, any card in a particular cost, so it's significantly harder to hit a bad Binding Agreement, aka a Binding Agreement where you only draw 2 cards, and then that's just sort of the end of your round. Instead, you're much more likely to hit like a 1, a power, a 3, a power, a 6, a power, and then maybe another 6 or something like that. Sometimes you can even fill your hand with 8 to 10 cards just by constantly recycling with Binding Agreements, and oftentimes the cards that you're most likely to hit are in fact 6s. I think they're actually the one that actually is at more than 8. Yeah, we have 10 copies of 6s. So you are reasonably likely to hit a second Binding Agreement and then be able to play it again. all the power that you're going to be drawing off of this is stuff that you're playing through Gastrolith, so this can lead to some pretty wild stuff, like, right away. So yeah, that's sort of our late game plan. Combined with Rabbit, Insect Master, and Gastrolith, we can kind of take over the board pretty quickly, play a lot of extra cards, play a lot of extra power, and then all of these big drops that we're generally playing are going to be getting redrawn thanks to Binding Agreement. Now, we only run 3 of these because having multiples of them just tends to sort of suck on value, but this is sort of like the backup plan if the Furious Bandit combo does not go off the way that it's supposed to, and it's a way to sort of extend this this deck's value into the late game and play around with some really, really like unique and interesting concepts. All right, so other cards worth noting. We have All-Nighter and Praxis Adept early on to play Apprentice Mages. We're running Catalyze for a little bit of card draw because we have so many charge units in particular, but it's also just like a good way to fix power if you need to. There's a lot of general benefits that Catalyze can sort of set up for you. And then Hive Delivery is our other card that allows us to potentially fix power. We're grabbing Exodus here for the Inscribe, or Trail Scourge to stabilize, Display of Realities, because I needed a different option. You can definitely restructure this market how you like, but I think Decay and Display of Realities are the 2 that overlap the most, so these are the ones that I'm most considering cutting. And of course, Predator's Instinct for a very fast removal option in the market. I run 2 of Star Charts. In general, you want a lot of influence in this deck, so I'm not going particularly heavy on the Star Charts, but the Power Burst off of Star Charts is another card that you can potentially use to activate Furious Bandit. We're trying very hard to make a lot of different possible activations for Furious Bandit, because if we can get this card down on turn 4 or 5, that typically leads to a game win for us in terms of overall state. Like, this card is just really, really powerful if you can ramp it out. The combo aggro is very, very real, and combined with like some of the other cards here that are providing even just a little bit of board presence, a 6/5 charge overwhelm can do a tremendous amount of damage, and the refill is just going to really help us out in doing all the other things that we really, really want to do. Beyond that, the very, very top of the deck does contain a Rewind. We could put this in the market as well. I like it here because it's a 10, and it's nice to have a bunch of different costed cards in the deck. We actually had some 7s, 8s, and 9s as well for a while, but the 9s aren't particularly strong in this expedition. Currently, all that's accessible is Sindok and Lava Blood Goliath, which I would definitely include a 1 of Lava Blood Goliath in this deck, but no more than that. All right, so beyond that, this is sort of the like finalized list from just constant experimenting. I would say it's not going to be like an incredible option in terms of overall power level, but this will definitely rank you up some if you're playing it well. I really, really have been enjoying it, and we're going to jump into some games and show you how it works. So stay tuned and get ready for some nonsense. Cheers! All right, here's our opener. Looks like we got a Catalyze, a Praxis Adept. I kind of like this. The lack of double red is a little bit concerning, but I'm going second, so reasonable chance of drawing into it. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Praxis Adept in particular is really, really strong, and like if everything goes very, very poorly, we can always just Binding Agreement and start refreshing our hand. Cool, we found our Heated Compromise, so now all we need is a double red. If we can find that second red, then we can fix our power, set up for the Furious Bandit on turn 4, and that should be just like a really, really powerful setup.
You're a sad bunch.
Okay. I'm actually kind of okay with getting hit with Teacher of Humility here. So drawing extra cards that cost more is definitely problematic, but I think it's probably okay. Like, we get the extra draw, which gives us a higher chance of getting our second red. And if we can get that, I think I'm most happy with what we've got going on. So here we go.
Now, the real training begins.
There's the Disciplinary Weights. Found an Alluring Predator, which is certainly not great, but we still have another chance at a draw for the red, so that's good. It's a second Praxis Adept, unfortunately, so still hurting a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Can't use Summon or contract abilities. Definitely going to be like looking for some options here in a second. Okay, second Teacher. I can live with that. Hive Queen Uther does not get any bonuses, but can at least block the 3/2. And yeah, really looking for that red now. All-Nighter reduces the cost of my cards. Investigator West is not a thing, I don't care. Okay, so from here, Furious Bandit is still a 6/5, and I'm pretty happy with that. Binding Agreement would refresh our hand, but it'd be pretty expensive, so I don't think that's super worth it. I think it's more important right now to just play the Bandit. We're not going to get the card draws here because of Dean's Chamber, but Dean's Chamber is like such a card disadvantage engine that they're actually going to have a lot of problems with the fact that we're playing this kind of stuff. Also, notably, High Queen Uther and Heated Compromise work really well together. We just gained 10 life, so we are in much better shape and should be like doing really pretty commanding on board because of the Dean's Chamber. Like, it's too slow a card. Our opponent is, of course, like disabling a lot of our good stuff and making it like so that we're not having quite as much fun, but we get to do like so many bad things to them that it doesn't really matter. Okay, so Praxis Silic here is fine. I could catalyze if I wanted to, but I think the better thing to do is just Heated Compromise. Play the Alluring Predator. That's 2 charge units. And then from there, boop, boop. And again, another 10 life. Even more because our cards cost more. I think it's like 11, so. Double block there makes sense. We gain some life of our own. They're dealing with the 6/5. Cheap Investigator West is obviously going to be like a bit of a problem, but he's really more of a problem for like draft environments. I think our stuff is big enough that we're not going to be too worried if Investigator West triggers. We'll see. Rift Disaster kills everything. I get a card, they don't. That's pretty good for us, I'd say. Champion of Impulse is pretty cool. Gonna play the Praxis Silic. It's gonna give us a 4-cost treasure trove. And yeah, let's play Champion of Impulse, and let's catalyze and discard the treasure trove to draw 2 more cards. Another Heated Compromise. That one costs 6. So only useful if we got an Uther, but that's fine. Okay, Alluring Predator sucks here. Certainly I'm not happy with it, but I think we can probably live. No blocks. Okay, I've got a rewind in here. That's going to go to the bottom of the deck, most likely. I don't really see it happening with Heated Compromise. Should I play the Heated Compromise? Yeah, this card's really expensive. Oh, no. We should play Binding Agreement here, because we can get some good stuff. A 5, a 3, a 1, a 0, a 0, a Star Charts, a 5. They all get like a huge bonus to how expensive they are, but you know what? I think that's fine. Attack them for 4. We'll either get the B or we'll get 4 damage in. Both are good. Got 4 damage in. Cool. Hive Queen Uther still can't summon. Mystical Shackles I don't really care about. Alluring Predator should be pretty strong here. And of course I can get rid of the bees if I need to, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Losing a Hive Delivery, not the end of the world. So I've got my own Alluring Predators. I can also play 2 Champion of Impulses to block theirs, but I think it's better at this stage to do this. Yeah. Think for 5. Got ourselves an advantage, which may cost 2 more. Yep. So we're shut down, but we have so many cards that it doesn't really matter. Like, at the moment, we are still looking quite pretty, I'd say. Okay. Gets another 2/2. Not a big deal. An All-Nighter creates an Apprentice Mage, which gets them potentially like a triple block.
I'll do my best.
I could also All-Nighter theirs, though, so I don't think that's a huge deal. Let's do Rabbit Insect Master, since that's one of my cheapest and most effective cards. Oh wait, I can't play summon abilities. That's okay. We can still do this. I think we attack with the Alluring Predator. I think killing the Apprentice Mage is worth it. Ooh, yeah, get a triple. Oh baby, a triple. We might be able to beat the 8/8 out now, depending. We're saving these advantages for Uther, who is just waiting in the wings at the moment. If he gets a power, then we probably triple block. Okay, he got a power, so we triple block. Boop, boop, boop. And we have more cards than them, so shouldn't be in too much trouble here. Advantage. Tinker Unionist. That's going to be a couple of guys with good blocks, but I think we're okay.
We must finish in time. We must finish in time.
Cool, lots of taunts. So Hive Queen Uther,
We've got
play the star charts, play the champion.
Awakens.
And we have another binding agreement coming up. So once we've exhausted this hand, we can go into the next one. Mystical Shackles. That's gonna mess with some stuff, but Uther can still do plenty of blocks, so I'm not too concerned about it. Asuar Longbow gets a hunt, so it's pretty likely to actually kill Uther here. It's a good card.
the bees safe.
And 4 Warcry units is a bit tough, to be sure. Okay, I love a good Gastrolith. Based on what we got going on here, I'm thinking Champion Engraver is correct. All-Nighter makes some sense because we could play... Yeah, I can't get any power off of these. The power bursts just aren't doing anything. If I play the Gastrolith, that sets up for like a later turn, but I think it's better to just get some blockers down. Play around with what we got. Rift Crystal is something. I do think I want a Gastrolith. They're being real careful with their block because they know we have a bunch of charge units, and that's working in our favor here. Alluring Predator, definitely a cool card. Yeah, let's go ahead and play that and attack with it, I think. Got ourselves another card and another advantage, which we're just going to discard. We play a time here. I could have gotten a life off of that with Gastrolith. Let's go ahead and just play this advantage to get the advantage out of our hand. I don't want to shuffle it into the bottom of my deck for reasons, but I think we're okay. Okay, so we're doing more of the damage than them at the moment. We still got the better board. This is definitely like a really interesting back and forth right now, but the second binding agreement should seal it, particularly with a Gastrolith down. Because once we're able to play like all of this power, the extra cost of the disciplinary weights isn't going to matter as much, so I think we're in fairly good shape. Also, sorry about phone noises. That's not usually a thing that happens. There we go. Fixed. Alright, cool. Advantage, looks good. Rift Crystal, looks like nothing. Okay, we got a Praxis Silix, which I can just play for the power. I don't think we want the 2 here. I think we just want to go straight into the binding agreement. So we shuffle everything back in, or we put them back on the bottom. 1, 3, 0, 6, 5, 1. Not too bad. And I can just play High Queen Uther again. That'll get me into some card draw later, and I can do another binding agreement if I feel like it later. The card advantage is endless. Okay, cool. Easy block. Got another card, which was a Hive Delivery. Hive Delivery can pick up like Trail Scourge for us if we want to really break these Unionists, but I think we're in good shape. So I have to block if they attack. It's got Taunt. Asuar Longbow's scary here. We'll probably have to All-Nighter to get the damage necessary to take that out. Okay, that's 2.
The bees safe.
Phineas,
I'll help myself, thanks.
unfortunately a 2/3. Yeah, that is a pretty significant amount of damage. We'll see how it goes. First things first, let's go ahead and Hive Delivery. How about we do a Display of Realities? As much as I'd like the health, I think killing all relics on the enemy player makes a lot of sense because it allows us to activate our summons, which is going to be a big deal. Okay, so Phineas gets to draw an attachment with cost. Probably get the Ossawar longbow back, which is particularly annoying. But, like, we can do some work here. So yeah, we'll attack here, see if we can gain some life. Got ourselves a 6/6 and gain some life. Yeah, perfect. Kills the Phineas, that's okay.
Guess I'm cashing out.
The attachment they're getting back is probably the longbow, even though they can't play it. Yeah, it's a 9/9, so Engraver's a risky piece of business here. I think I'm going to all-nighter. And we'll just end turn. Now, I still have the Gastrolith. So, ooh. Yeah, that's a scary one. Okay, we drew a Hive Delivery. I can work with that. This is turning out to be a really good game. It's not particularly representative of our own deck because obviously we're playing around some like very weird stuff, but if I Hive Delivery here, I get a Decay. Decay kills this. I can get some blockers with Engraver. The real risk is also our longbow at this point. Like, it is still a pretty scary card, but we have some opportunity to like draw the rest of the power in our deck. Another Dean's Chamber. Okay. Cool, you just keep doing that. I mean, Furious Bandit wins it, so there we go. Blocked all my summons. That's okay. We just continued refilling our hand and got the advantage out, so... very, very strong stuff. Alright, here we are up against the worst player ever. This is mostly okay. We have a pretty good setup here. The one disadvantage is that, like, the power's a little wonky. I'm going to be digging for double red for Heated Compromise, and then probably using that to play Alluring Predator instead of playing Engraver on 3 into, like, a Predator, which is sad, but, you know, this actually still seems like it's going to all sort of eventually, like, turn out into being good stuff, so, yeah, we're good with that. So if I have Delivery right now for a fire... We have a chance of just drawing what we need. Or I could wait and do it correctly on the next turn. Yeah, I think we'll wait. Rainbow Total Legend. That might be a good thing to, like, kill her later. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go for the Exodus here. I think the Engraver's offering us enough that we are pretty happy if we get it, and if we don't, then, you know, at least we got more power. Cool. So here's the Engraver. And that's power 5 for Alluring Predator, so we've got the jump that we need, even if we don't have the double red.
Safe travels, friend.
Amber Acolyte is, of course, a unit. I would like to get, like, a card that can actually kill Grumbo out. That'd be nice, but for the moment, Alluring Predator seems pretty good. We'll attack. Based on what I've got going on, I'm pretty happy using the Totemites for other stuff, such as, say, another Alluring Predator. And there's always the chance that they get us, like, a Furious Bandit or something very cool. Time sigil there. So I'm currently just swimming in extra power. We got a lot of potential options here.
Talk.
Grumbo is helping them stabilize some, but 2 Alluring Predators is a pretty good smack. Okay, we got the Exodus. Now the question is, are we going to play the Exodus? Or are we going to save it and actually use it to buff our units? I think here double red is just more important. So yeah, play the double red. You will have to use Heated Compromiser advantage for Alluring Predator here. I think this time around it's Heated Compromise. It seems like the more expensive card, but in this case it just sort of allows us to do like a little bit more. So, there was a play here where I used the advantage, catalyzed a Heated Compromise away, and then played the Alluring Predator after the second Heated Compromise. I missed it, but that's okay. So swing with these two. We're gonna get some Bs, we're gonna get some damage. There's B. There's some life gain. There's some damage. All looking pretty good so far. Opponent at 13. Obviously, leaving a Grumbo alone is never a thing that you really want to do, so we are going to try and find good answers there, but so far not bad.
The past is best left forgotten.
Krogar Burdened Hero silences our 3-2. That's okay. I can live with that. Resettle. Buffs it up to a 6-6, sure. Oh, second resettle, okay. Sure, yeah, I mean, I think I can live with that. Let's go ahead and all-nighter the Grumbo since it's getting kind of out of control. First things first, we'll catalyze the Power Burst. Champion of Impulse, and there's the Furious Bandit. Awesome. So, yeah, so I don't want to play a power here because I'm not going to get the card draw if I do. We can definitely get rid of Grumbo. This is unfortunate because I do want to play Champion of Impulse, but I think Heated Compromise Furious Bandit is a little more powerful, so we'll end our turn.
Safe travels,
Amber
friend.
Acolyte. Setting up more power. I'm a little hard stuck against this Krogar for the moment, but we'll get there. Actually, there's a pretty good answer to it in our hand, so, you know. Charge double damage overwhelm. Love it. I can swing with this as well, because it's probably going to get a hunt and go to 7-7. Oh, no, only got the advantage. Still, that's like 12 damage over, so pretty happy with it. And we want to remember to play our power before the end of the turn. Oh, really? Gonna take 12 damage to avoid trading. Do you have like a deadly unit or something? Spin down, plays a power from your void, or puts a non-power card from your void on top of your deck. Okay. And that gets you a 6-6, but that's not going to stop the Furious Bandit. So, play the power here. Hive Queen Uther is going to play into Champion for 3 health. And also for a bunch of bees, which is always nice.
Tick tock.
Another 7-7, that's totally fine. I could block there. I don't think I need to. Yeah, I'd say we're fairly comfy. Hive Queen Uther.
We've got
Play a power. Advantage.
The
Champion.
praxis awakens.
Swing for 6. We've got a double damage champion. Oh, actually, I might have played the single. Whoops. Should have played the double. That's okay, that's okay. Regardless, we're pretty close. I mean, that's almost lethal right there. So yeah, that's the general idea of the deck. It is very good at like sort of just playing a lot of meat on the board very, very quickly, and that's really important. Like you can definitely do a lot of stuff with good board position, and then even if you are struggling to like finish, you can still use the binding agreement to get yourself refreshed and ready to rock and roll. There's definitely a little bit of unreliability in it, so that's why I don't think it's like an amazing option for like ladder climbing, but it's really, really fun to play. There's a lot of like really unusual interactions between the max power cards, and I just kind of enjoy it. I'm having a good time with it. I think it's quite a bit of fun. I think our opponent here is just going to time out. They kind of don't have any cards, and also it should be their turn. No, they played a power. Okay. they're just going to go in for 10, and that'll be the end of the game. Cool. Pretty straightforward. Overall, like, definitely not bad, not bad. So, yeah, that is the deck. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely a pretty fun blast to play. And, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be back with more Eternal Brews in the future. This one took a little while just because I kept trying to make it really, really competitively viable. And as far as things went, it mostly just ended up being fun jank. But fun jank is fun, so I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you soon with more brews. That's definitely going to happen. So cheers, and see you next time. Bye!